not reviewed yet, but how do you assess what happened on Saturday?
Yeah, we haven't had our team review yet, but clearly a pretty disappointing day. I feel like the first half they played their conditions a fair bit better than us and outworked us in the second half. So yeah, like I said, we'll have to have a talk about exactly what happened, but I'm sure we'll try and move on pretty quickly to this week.
Is it an outlier given you've already lost another game by 90 points already this season?
Well, look, without watching the game back yet, it's hard to point to anything specific. I think over the last 3 weeks we've probably got back to some of our better football, so it's a little bit disappointing to take a bit of a backward step, but it's a very long season, and fortunately we've got a long way to go, so yeah, pretty excited to get out this week and respond.
You do have a good history of responding after losses, but why does it seem that when Port loses it can be really big?
Yeah, again, I don't know if it's anything specific. We've always been a team that when we're behind we'd rather have a crack at trying to win and at least give ourselves a chance at trying to win. If that means by losing a bit more, then that sometimes happens. But yeah, clearly things didn't go the way we would have liked on the weekend. So yeah, there's a fair few things that we'll need to really hone in on.
When you have played your best footy this season, it has looked fantastic to watch. Would you say it's more of a mental thing rather than a structure?
Oh, I don't think so. Bulldogs are a really good side, and they were better in pretty much every facet of the game in the second half. And I'm going to sound like a broken record, but I don't know if it's anything specific yet. We need to sit down and go through exactly what happened. But yeah, like you said, we've played some good games of football this year, so hopefully we can get back to that this week.
In terms of looking forward to this weekend, obviously a huge game. Is this a good timing for it to come to sort of be able to bounce back with the Showdown?
Yeah, I think Showdowns, no matter what time of year they are or what's happened previously, you always look forward to them. It's a couple of the games that you really look forward to at the start of the year, and I think the past has shown that form probably doesn't matter too much. Both teams are pretty excited just to get out there and play.
Do you do anything different around, I guess, with the Showdown, with the rivalry? Yeah, anything particular this week?
No, I don't think so. I think we'd be pretty keen to respond as a club, no matter if that was a Showdown this week or any other club. So, yeah, again, we'll be pretty excited to get out there and get into it, but we'll have to do our review first.
We've seen Paul be pretty vocal, and I guess they dislike the Crows in the past. As a captain now, do you like that? Do you kind of play into that a bit, or do you more like just focus on the game itself rather than all the theatre around it?
Yeah, I'll probably leave the theatre to the external people. I think clearly there's a great rivalry, and there has been for a lot of years now, and those games feel like finals in some sort of sense. The pressure goes up a little bit, but yeah, I love playing in them, and I know the Crows do as well, so yeah, just excited to get out there.
Jordan, the rivalry was clearly stoked more last year. We know what happened in that last showdown. Do you expect this one to have a fair bit of intensity and fire early on?
I think they always have a bit of fire when you get out there and play. I don't think, like Connor said, externally we might leave the build up for you guys to do that, but for us it's just about playing footy, and yeah, same as what Connor said, no matter where the teams are on the ladder, it's always a good contest, and we all love playing them as well, so I'm looking forward to it.
Is it safe to assume there won't be any Joshua Shelley-like comments this week? You guys are playing pretty straight bat in the media?
I think so, yeah.
What do you learn from last time, I guess, given after the Dan and Isaac thing, and you guys, I think Nixie said you guys probably lost your heads a little bit. Do you kind of go back to that and look at the importance of it to keep in the moment?
I don't think we'll revisit last year. I think we're a completely different team this year. We've got some new guys that have come in, and some guys have stepped up as well. So we're focused on this year, and I think you're always trying to learn from hard games like that, and I think we've learned some lessons, but we won't revisit what happened last year.
Did you show on the weekend the danger of a team that has been questioned during the week and the power of the response, and therefore does that make you ultra cautious of football?
Definitely. I think The competition's so tight, and obviously if you're a few percent off, you can get shown up against anyone. And we obviously were in a similar position this time last week after the Freo game, so we'll be very wary of Port responding, and they always respond well. So it's going to be a great game, and we respect them highly, and we look forward to the battle this weekend.
Nixie said on Saturday that he's ultra hard on you. Did he challenge you after that Freo game?
No, he didn't challenge me. No different to normal weeks.
Do you challenge yourself then if you have say a last quarter week where you don't get a possession, given the high standard you set for yourself?
I think ideally you want to go out and play the best you can and to your capability every week. And like I said, the competition's so tight, and individually it's a hard game, and obviously you want to play the best you can every week, but you're going to have down weeks, and I think it's about how you respond to that. And as a group, we were able to respond really well to that.
Did you do anything in particular yourself to, I guess, bounce back?
No, nothing different changes for me. I've had my same process I do every week, and I've done for years now. So personally, I don't buy into any external media and that sort of thing. I just focus on what I can do for the team and my role and how I can execute that week in and week out.
You're not doing that yourself, and clearly, you talk about the showy stuff, and that's not happening this time around. Do you feel like the side is a more mature side 12 months on, and clearly you've grown a lot, but do you feel like there is that maturity now to put that all stuff aside, just focus on what you need to?
Yeah, definitely. I think, like I said, we've brought some guys in who are experienced campaigners in the AFL, and they've added real leadership and mature heads to our group. So, along with natural progression from a lot of guys who have stepped up this year as well. So, I think whatever situation we come across this year, we're able to handle as we've matured as a group, and we've come a long way.
We always say that form and ladder position goes out the window for a showdown, but is this the most evenly matched these two sides have been for quite a while? Obviously, you've had the wood over them, but in terms of ladder position, Port have had your numbers for the last 5-6 years. Is this the most evenly matched you've been?
I haven't really looked into the history, but I think we obviously respect them highly, and we know how damaging they can be, and I've known that since I've come over here and started playing for Adelaide. So I think no matter where the team is on the ladder, we know it's going to be a good contest, and we're expecting that, and we'll bring it as well.
Did Smithers do enough to hold a spot?
Yeah, obviously I don't know yet, but I think obviously Hingy hopefully will come back in, and I think it just shows our depth at the moment. Obviously he's a 250 gamer and highly respected player of our club, and to be able to come out and play exactly how we kind of expected him to play, to be honest. He's been playing some awesome footy at sample level, and a number of guys have, and they've been able to get an opportunity. So I'm really proud of Smithy for the way he's gone about it this year, and I'm not surprised that he's able to come in and play his role the way he did.
The depth, is that one of those big areas of growth? You look at your injuries last year, and it really crippled you as a club, whereas you've added some All-Stars this year, and it seems like on the weekend you're able to cover that much better.
I think so. I think, like I said, Smithy was one. Sam Berry's probably playing the best footy of his career, and he's obviously came in as sub and impacted for us. Butsy was once our number one key defender, and he's had to fight for his spot. So we've definitely got depth, which enables us to, when we have injuries, which every team does, we're able to bring guys in and they're able to perform at a really high level. So yeah, depth is probably at its best since I've been here for sure.
On the defence, how pleasing was it to see the plan, I guess, to curtail Curnow and McCain play off on Saturday?
Yeah, it was. Look, our defenders have been awesome all year, and I think as a midfield group we're able to get our pressure and hunt back, and it makes it a bit easier for the defenders because they're obviously star players, those two, and it makes it a bit easier for the defenders to get their job done with the pressure up the field. So it all works hand in hand, and yeah, I was really proud of Butsy and Keeney the way they fought it out, and then obviously Woz as well played a fantastic game.
Was he your Australian pool?
Oh, I don't know. It's up for you guys to talk about. I think he's been bubbling away nicely, I think, for the last few years, and his attention to detail and his craft is something that really stands out, and I'm not surprised that he's able to execute his role the way he has been the last month or so at a really high level.
Where do you reckon he'd be sitting in the best comparison at the moment for you guys?
I don't know. I'll let you guys decide that. I'm sure it doesn't bother him.
Connor, do you have any issues with Zach's management meeting with footy clubs? It's probably not a huge surprise that there's going to be a bit of interest in you, good mate?
Yeah, there's no surprise. He's clearly one of the best players in the competition, and that's where the industry is at the moment. Players, and not only him. There'd be 50 to 100 players that are talking to different clubs around the competition, and it's just part of the process these days. And even if you're 99% sure that you're going to stay, lots of players just seek out their options just to see what's out there. So, he's still got a year and a half left on his contract, and I know he loves our group a lot. So, I'll leave that up to him.
Should it make you nervous though when you read that or see that or hear that?
Not really, to be honest. I don't really read too much media. Again, one of my best mates, Luco, just come home, so you see players move clubs all the time, and I'd love him to stay, but we'll have to wait and see.
You say you don't read much media, but it affects different players differently. How do you keep the group together after a couple of big losses now, and then also talk about Zach and everything else? How do you make sure the group stays tight and confident?
Yeah, well, the Zach stuff we don't talk about at all, to be honest. In terms of media, I think for me personally, I try and stay away from it. I don't think it helps anyone's mental state that much reading stuff about them, whether it's positive or negative. So I think as a club, the most important thing for us is we listen to everyone inside the football club. We keep it internal. We've shown in the past that when we have a bad loss, we're able to respond, and I think that's because we stay tight as a group and listen to what Kenny says and what we need to do the following week. So that'll be the same approach this week.
Chad spoke after the Collingwood loss about how strong you'd been and leading sort of the review and the turnaround. Do you take that loss and this on the weekend personally, and do you feel like you're leading better in those scenarios now?
I think it definitely comes with just being in the role a little bit longer and being a bit more comfortable to sort of share my opinion and lead the boys, I guess. And again, you never want to lose bad games, but it's a part of the industry. You see some of the best teams in the competition lose badly throughout the year, and it's not about that singular game, it's about the season as a whole. And I feel like my leadership's come a fair way by copying some criticism here and there, and taking that on board and trying to sort of help me become a better person overall.
So you move back into the midfield at times, you're trying to work your way back into that game. Does that mean anything long term, or is that just a lever you might pull when you're losing the contest?
I'll leave that up to Kenny, to be honest. It's something we can obviously go to because I've played there in the past, but we've got a really strong midfield group, and I feel like I've been enjoying half back and enjoying being able to help the boys back there to so I guess take that next step. The weekend wasn't what we would have liked, but it's something that we can clearly go to during games.
In terms of showdowns when you guys are out there, is there much byplay between you two, much banter? Can you remember any times in the past where there's been a barb traded or anything like that?
I don't think so. I actually don't think so.
Don't think so.
I think the Hornet and Zach are the ones that usually live a fair bit, so expect that again. It's all part of the theatre of it and the fun of it, and everyone's obviously extremely competitive and you want to win, so some guys buy into that, some guys don't, but it's always enjoyable, that's for sure.
Who's normally Libby from the Crows, Connor?
Nah, no one specific.
Oh, come on, he's named a couple. Come on, there's got to be a couple.
That's a headline right there, I'll say.
There's no one you can think of.
Nah, not a single person. So.
Does this constant scrutiny on you two clubs and the way that you're both compared to each other just by nature of being in the same state, does that add to the rivalry? Do you feel as though it's always Port lost and the Crows won? Do you feel that week in, week out, and how much does that sort of add to the rivalry when you meet on game day?
Oh, I think you only really feel it obviously in Showdown week. I think we try and focus on us. I'm sure they're the same. They try and focus on them, and you can't really buy into it because it's, like Connor said before, it's a long season. Footy can be a bit of a roller coaster, and you got to stay in your lane a little bit and enjoy it for what it is. And especially weeks like this, you don't really buy into that form stuff because on their day they can come out and beat anyone, and so can we. So we expect them at their best, and you definitely try not to follow and buy into too much of it.
Do you like ball?
I respect them.
Do you like the close?
I respect them.
Right, I believe it.